Hello, another day at the park. After work. So, on my on my Facebook, I am on my Facebook page. I'm inundated with religious posts or memes or religious posts of varying kinds. Partly because on my Facebook, a lot of my friends on Facebook are people that I have known from young, from when I was a child, and people at my church. So a lot of my friends on Facebook are Christians, and and groups that have caught my attention over the years that I've either became a member of this group or I clicked on the posts and stuff like that. So anyways, a lot of my traffic is along those lines, religious posts. And so, tell you what a humdinger that has been. But anyways, one of the elements, one of the things about it though has been this this post that I came across the other day. Sorry, got distracted there. Post that I came across the other day was someone had posted. It was something along the lines of, paraphrasing a bit, but it's like, God didn't call you to be Pentecostal, Catholic, or Protestant, or something else like that, or He called you to be born again. I think it just listed three different denominations, and He called you to be born again and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I agree with that with that kind of pithy post, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. So I was thinking about this, and I figured I would ask it in this way. So imagine. Let me do it a better way. So there is this distinction that is lesser more known by people, where they talk about the way versus Christianity. I don't know how long that distinction has been kind of like held forward. I think if the distinction is true, then the distinction has existed since the beginning of the things. But as far as like being held forward, where in modern times there's this, people are kind of trying to re-embrace the way, make that more known, and make this distinction between the Christianity that pervades in this time. But so anyways, so pertaining to people who are in the way, right? I guess the picture goes like this. If you were audited, tell you what, I'm trying to think of, all right. So people who are in the way, if they were audited by any one denomination about their beliefs, the nuanced understanding, or the details that one receives along the way, that understanding would cause you to be heretical in most every denomination that you would enter in. If you were audited, if you were placed in any denomination and they audited your beliefs, your convictions, your worldview on several points, you would be found to be a heretic, heretical, or wayward, the very least, in multiple regards. And I believe that is right on target. And so when people who are Christians, who they consider themselves to be saved, be born again, be in the way, but they are seated comfortably in a denomination, that only is the case because they are either quietly long-suffering, or basically, okay, it could be because, they're quietly long-suffering in the denomination that they're persuaded that God had put them in to be salt and light, and that they are, whatever, they're perhaps, they're in the phase of patiently kind of waiting for their time to, where the Lord introduces their, to where their separation is made known, to where the salt does what it does and the light does what it does to the contrasting flavorlessness or darkness, or that they are that they themselves have come aside from the way and have found solace or have found in any particular religion that its teachings have replaced the direction that Christ gives to those who are in the way. Hope that made sense. And I say that knowing and acknowledging the difference between just contrariness or a person just being haughty in their heart and they're in their religion, they're in their denomination, their church, just causing trouble because they're just seeing it, they're just being contrary because of this whatever whatever reason. That's different. And those differences are discernible, distinguishable. Versus someone who just in their most sincerest, more than just the more sincerest, but Christ has put in their mind and heart by His Spirit these understandings that are like it did with Him, caused the scribes and Pharisees and the religious people of His day to want to kill Him, to hate Him, to see Him as wayward or wrong or false. And I think that is the shared and common plight of everyone who is in the way, to their varying degrees and with their varying dynamics. There is this fellowship of suffering that they have in that regard. I think that's a good way to put it. Hope that made sense. I do intend to expound on this more, but I think that'll do for now, just for consideration or feedback about what one might think. I might even try to when I edit this video, I might even try to put that meme in there for people to read and stuff, because yes, I think that's a good way to get into the point of some of what I would like to get off my chest. All right, that'll do for now. Thanks.